Hey everybody, it's Platinum Stoner. I changed my name to Hippie Marijuana Mama. I have ate an edible and it is starting to kick in. Also, I was out of town this weekend for my grandma's funeral, and so the weed consumption wasn't there. And the edibles were though, and I just want to talk about edibles, why they're fresh in my brain, why I'm high on an edible. And another funny fact is because when I got back into town, just a short little bit ago, like I barely got home here. I'm a mess of just. So there's a couple things I do when I take edibles. Fall asleep. Fall asleep, usually. I will wake up though at like 3 in the morning and massive munchies where I will just raid anything and everything that I can come across in my house. Or there's times where I won't even remember said food raid and will wake up to candy wrappers, popsicle sticks stuck to my forehead has happened, chocolate coated sheets. Me and edibles, a lot of people ask why I don't do edibles a lot. This is why, because they're not very trustworthy for what I'm meaning. They kick in at the wrong time. They kick in too hard, too light, too much, too stoned, too tired, too this, too that. But they help me sleep, so I do use them for that. Anyway, I'm so tired. It was such a weekend with family. My grandma had passed away, and we went back to the town that she raised her children in, and partly from Colorado, partly from Wyoming, partly from Nebraska, partly from all over, but really just went back and went to the old church and saw my best friend for 30, ouch, I'm getting old, 30 plus some years. This wasn't planned. Family I hadn't seen forever. You played the game where, oh, do you remember so-and-so? And you're like, no, I really don't remember so-and-so when I was 6 years old. And they're like, oh yeah, I remember you. But then both of us really don't remember each other. So we both just kind of, yeah, I remember you. And then we, go along our way. A lot of people had the confusion, me and my sister look alike, and they kind of had this confusion of like, which one's you and which one's not? I have it in my head, on my head. And they're like, are you me and my sister? Like they're weighing their options here. I have a special needs daughter who spent a lot of time randomly going back up to the hotel room. And so I spent a lot of time saying, yeah, this is my 8-year-old. And then I have another daughter who's hiding in the hotel room. And then I started to realize, maybe I sound crazy and they think I'm making this other daughter up. This is with very religious people. So I made sure to be modest, say the least. And it was just a different environment. I feel like I stepped back into a different generation. My new piece, Jade. I just burped into that, and then I have too much water. Excuse me. So, anyways. So I will, when I'm on edibles, I'm all over the place. So when I'm on edibles, because I'm high, it's fully, edible, kicked in, and now I'm there's the mountain here, and I'm at this point, and here's the peak of the mountain, okay? Bear with me. Oh, okay, so I think I eat enough edible. It's 50% CBD, 50% THC. I think I eat enough. Well, I ate too much yesterday, and as I said, it is my grandmother's funeral. And I'm waiting for my bestest of best friends. We met when I was 4 and she was 6, 30-year friendship. She came to be my rock, and she keep things light and happy, and just, yeah, my person. And so I was waiting for her to get there, and then we go back to the church that we first originally met. And as you're big kids, little kids, and they become big kids like we are now, because I feel like a kid, a big person, big one. We go back and it's just everything's so tiny. You remember this pathway so long, or this is so long, all these memories you have, and then you go back to where these memories were created, and you're just it's a little bit of mind fuckery, to be honest. And it was just crazy that we're standing on the same steps when we met I love her. So we go into like the social hall, which is really small, and I bump in. I've had some family things go on in my life, and I bump into people I haven't seen in almost 8 years without even thinking. And at this point, this edible that I ate, which I thought was enough, ended up to be too much, because then it kicked in. And I look up and there's one person in my face that I haven't seen forever, and just like, I haven't met your daughter, and the family drama just flares. And then I like get the plate of food that's like shoved in front of me, and I go over to the next person, and I look up, and it's another person of the family friend, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, internally, the voice is screaming, and I'm just being shoveled along into this very tiny, tiny crowded space where there's really not room to breathe. And as I'm walking by, people are like grabbing my arm, like, oh, you're so-and-so, oh, you're so-and-so, oh, yeah. And, you know, I knew this was going to happen. It's, you know, my grandma's funeral. Like, okay, I get it. So we sit down, we eat, and then I go to sit down, and like my aunt pulls out a chair for me. I sit down, I look over, and there's my father. I have not really spoken to my parents very much at all, and all of a sudden there's my dad. So I'm like ran into 3 freaking family friends close to my mom. And then my dad within a matter of like 2 minutes, and my brain can't process all this because I'm starting to become high as a kite. And I did not want that to happen. Edibles don't always kick in at the right time. They don't kick in how you want them to kick in and how you want them to use them, especially when you really, really want and need them. I'm talking so fast. But anyways, okay. This whole shebang happens. I have this weird food aversion thing. I don't trust potlucks, fellowships, and yet that's how I grew up in this religious environment that I grew up in. Was every Saturday, aka Sabbath, was potlucks. So you would just eat food. They're very healthy. They all live until be like 1 million. One of my grandma's friends was 100 and it's gonna be 101. My grandma was 94. These peeps don't die. And luckily the edible kicked in, okay? So this is a positive. I was able to eat this food that I had this aversion towards, but thank God my best friend of 30 years finished my food and kind of got me off the hook of that. And then everybody had to go around and introduce how they knew my grandma. So then I had to speak. My kids had to speak, and I'm like, oh crap, and like I can't keep track of what people are saying, and it's just a noise and this and that. Anyways, somehow, I don't even remember what I was said, or what I said. So we leave there, and then we skip over a small town, just like minute drive over to the funeral, where the funeral takes place. Well, that's when the edible really starts to peak. And I'm sitting there, and I'm feeling like this, you know, your eyes kind of, you know, what's going on right now. You kind of feel like your face, and I'm just kind of zoned out, and I'm looking at the flower arrangements and how beautiful they are, and thinking about how much my grandma loved flowers and how she would like these flowers, and a picture of her, and I was like, oh wow, I really do have good genetics because she's beautiful, and if everybody says we're lookalikes, so maybe I guess I do have good genetics, I don't know. And then I'm like, crap, does that mean I'm gonna die at 94 years old? Am I gonna be living to like 101 like most of these people in this religion do, which is one of the healthiest religions, and like everybody who's a Seventh-day Adventist is very healthy, and they live forever. So I'm just having these thoughts, and my best friend was like, Abby, look alive. And you know, I realized I'm so zoned out on these flowers. And then I started to go into this Romeo and Juliet thing, because my grandma's Bible was propped up there, and there was a single rose, and I'm just looking, and it just was like, oh, it's romantic to have a single rose in a Bible. And then I'm like, looking around, I'm like, the Romeo and Juliet, and then I'm thinking about like my grandma and grandpa and this other boyfriend that she had a few years back, and like this whole situation, and I just was like, I just got in this fantasy world, and I noticed that my uncle's kind of like trying to get my attention because I wanted to say a few words, and I was like, oh, Earth, okay, here, where am I, like trying to recenter myself as I'm high, and Cottonmouth at this point has become to an extreme level, and the tears all instantly started to fall without me realizing I was crying, and so I don't know if I was the only stoned person in that room, but high chances that I was, if not maybe one other person, which would be a cousin or a direct family member, but I don't think so. Anyways, I have this whole cool thing that I was going to say. My grandma wrote a poem, and then when she was in her youth, and when I was in my youth, I wrote a poem of exact similar context about leaves and fall, different but same context. Subjects, all that, okay? Mine was cheesy, hers was good. And that's what I was going to share, because we both have a love or passion for writing. So I was going to share that. I had it in my hand, you know, and I'm nervous to read it and like not stumble over. And then my brother wasn't able to be there, so he was like, share this memory about grandma. And my sister, like she was going to let me know, and she had like a couple different ones to share from, you know. So I just get up there and I just sound like a stupid. Well, I'm her granddaughter. She's my grandma. I'm her granddaughter. My brother here wants to know. Word vomit. And then we always ended with my grandma was when we all said goodbye, she'd say, see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. I started to say, and then we part ways or something. I don't know. I said, see you later. And then like blanked, like, crap, what animal do I say? Crocodile, alligator. I was like, alligator after all, crocodile. Like, and then I just sat down like, I was so stoned. So stoned that I ended up going to find the ice cream coffee shop and ended up ordering coffee and an Oreo shake and just like extra stuff that I didn't need. So, caution, edibles and funerals. I mean, it helped me get through the day. I saw the silver lining and kept my emotions under control before I literally snapped and lost out my kids at one point because, you know, moms, and other just a lot of pressure. Eventually the kettle sizzles. Whistles. Okay, so that was the most recent edible story of mine. Is this one. So a week ago I got high. I got high. I didn't do what I was supposed to do, but I did this. I online shopped and bought plants. I don't need plants right now in my life. I mean, I want them. I don't need them. There's lots of needs, like my kids need snow boots, but no. Stoned. Abby orders houseplants online, which really is not a good idea. I tried to cancel when I woke up the next day and realized what I had done. It had been too late. So then I figured we'll just go with this and we'll see what happens, right? So I get home a little bit ago and they were at my door. I'm not sure how many days they were sitting here. I left on Friday. So it could have been Friday to now. I just, I don't know. I think I wasn't paying attention to my phone and stuff. Packaging here. So I should have been telling my story while I'm doing this, but I just can't focus. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Are we ready? I don't even know what I remember. I just know it was a lot of money houseplants. Yeah, we got some bringing back to life to do, some love and maintenance. This was Christian, the houseplant I ordered stone on an edible. Okay. That looks all like 3D psychedelic. Desert rose. Okay, cool. I guess I am one of those people who click that purchase button. I don't even remember how I got off onto like the whole plant situation. Like I just ended up waking up in the morning and being like, wait a minute, I just bought plants. I know one was an aloe vera. This is not an aloe vera. I cannot believe I did this. Oh my god, but I'm kind of happy I did. Croton? Is this this like some alien something? It's full of soil in the box, but I like it. Hello, welcome to my home. You have a personality. Look at you. You're just, it just, wouldn't you agree? It just, yeah, I like it. Okay. Maybe this wasn't so bad after all. I mean, I haven't wanted houseplants for a while. Maybe my stone subconscious is like, hey, order houseplants. Desert Road, Crochet. There's one more box. It's quite leaky. We got, I miss growing marijuana, so I'm kind of excited because this is going to be it needs to be nursed back to life. You look good though. You smell good. You smell a little moist. Moist. I know a lot of people don't like the word moist. Let's put you up over this right there. We got it. Might be better. This one's like just soggy and destroyed. Oh my. Can you see in there? It's a really dirty aloe plant. Fuckery. Like I'm going to have a garden on my floor situation. But I have a little gnome. I love gnomes. Who else likes garden gnomes? Like, I really want a fairy garden, and I want a shit ton of garden gnomes. See, this one should have been, like, knocked over. Womp, womp, womp. I think it's falling over. I have soil all over my floor and my hands. Because I got too high, and this is what I did. Okay. We put you in there. Oh my. Okay. What is the craziest thing that you guys have ordered? Stoned, edible or not? Because this is by far the craziest thing I've ever done. And I'm happy with the purchase. And I'm surprised I did it. And I'm completely exhausted. So now that I've opened these, told my edible story before I forgot it, and I'm high as fuck. Now I'm peaking. Now I'm like, that means I can lay down and go to sleep because I haven't done much of that. Peace out. Enjoy your edibles safely and responsibly, and watch your wallet while you're on your edibles.